Hello and welcome to episode 2 of Gear Over Beer. I am your host, Noah McCormick, and on today's episode, our dear friend Max Trainor, also known as Tell the Wall, is going to stop on by, kind of give us the story behind his artist name. We're also going to talk about how he was almost a member of me and Justin's band, Honey Be Well, his love for the Roland Jazz Course, and New Japan Professional Wrestling. We're also going to talk about his debut EP, The Hermit, which you can listen to on all streaming platforms. You can also follow Max at Tell the Wall on all social media. Now with that, let's get to the interview. Cue the music. All right, we're live, second episode. We have today one of our proudest fans, but also one of our dearest friends, and that would be Max Trainor, a.k.a. Tell the Wall. How you doing, Max?
I'm doing amazing. So honored. Long-time listener, first-time participant.
Long-time listener.
Love you guys. Love everything you do. So
wow.
Yeah.
God bless. Cool. So I guess we'll just dive straight into it. So how did you get the name Tell the Wall, or instead of going by your traditional name of Maxwell
Trainor? Yeah. So like many band stories, this one goes back to middle school. Have I told you this story before? I feel like I haven't told you this before. No. I feel like I've told you guys this before, but no. I was kind of a quiet kid in middle school.
As most of us were.
As most of us were. Puberty was not kind to me.
Yeah.
I felt like I was on fire all the time. And anytime anyone wanted to look at me, I thought I was going to kill myself. So it's not a good time. But anyway, I was very quiet. And I was in an advanced English class in fifth period.
That sounds very much like you.
Yeah.
Very Max.
Yeah. And there's this guy who sat in front of me. And he was, from what I understood, a pretty nice guy. But one day, they were passing back papers or something, and again, I was quiet. And he turned around to hand me my paper, and he did a double take, and he acted all surprised. And he was like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't know there was a person there. I thought that was just a wall. Here's your paper."
Damn.
And then for the rest of the semester, he kept referring to me as the Wall. He'd be like, one of his favorite sayings was, "Tell the Wall to pass his paper up." And so when
who is this kid? Can we?
I can't, dude. I'm not gonna dox anybody on the podcast.
I
man.
would totally dox this kid.
I will say he's a righteous guy now. I've had a chance to talk to him. He likes the story, so it all comes around.
Yeah, so it's a full story.
Yeah, he's actually friends with the guys who ended up being in my band in high school. So it's kind of neighbors. Actually, he lived right next door to where we practiced, so we got a chance to talk about it. But yeah, so when I started writing music, I my whole thing was I was trying to take something negative and spin it positive. So I was like, I guess I'll go by Tell the Wall, because just the Wall sounded too much like a Pink Floyd ripoff and and not as catchy. So I was like, Tell the Wall, I was also really into Owl City at the time, and he was just a single guy, and I was like, I need a band name.
Who didn't love Owl City as a kid?
For sure, dude.
Fireflies?
Who doesn't still love Owl City, honestly?
He's not still making music, is he?
Yeah, he is, man.
Is he really?
Sure he is, yeah.
Still under
Owl
Owl City?
He has a song that features Mark Hoppus, actually.
No.
Yeah. It's a banger. You have to check it out.
Is it really? When did that come out?
I don't know. It's 2012, 2013, something like that.
I think the last time I remember him putting out anything was with Carly Rae Jepsen for the Wreck-It Ralph.
Okay, that song.
When Can I See You Again? That song slaps.
No, that's not. That's a different one.
Oh.
It's like some other song that it's like a. It's Always a Good Time. That's that. That's not from Wreck-It Ralph though.
Yeah, it is.
No, it's not. When Can I See You Again is from Wreck-It Ralph. You do not know the Owl City lore. I do.
So what? Wait.
Yeah,
so
it's called When Can I See You Again is from Wreck-It Ralph, and that is a solo Owl City project. It's
that is not with Carly Rae Jepsen?
No, Carly Rae Jepsen was just a single, man. It blew up on the radio. It wasn't from Wreck-It Ralph. Come on.
But it was featured in Wreck-It Ralph.
No, it was not.
Wreck-It Ralph 2?
Maybe I haven't seen it.
I could have swore. I'm going to look this up right now. Because
it is not. Carly Rae Jepsen features on a standalone single track.
No, it's on the Wreck-It Ralph soundtrack.
It is?
Yeah.
That's
When
bullshit.
Can I See You Again by Owl City.
I don't believe you.
Right there.
No, okay, yeah, but that doesn't have Carly Rae Jepsen on it.
Isn't there a female vocalist in that?
I don't think so.
Not all female vocalists
are Carly Rae Jepsen. Yeah.
I could have swore. Maybe
it's a different song. You're right. You're just pointing it in the wrong place. Yeah.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah.
Well, while we're here, I guess it's time to get to the beer of the episode.
I'm having a Sprite.
Yes, because Maxwell is underage. And
so I'm having a crisp Sprite.
We don't condone underage drinking.
So that's what pretty much, if you can't tell, because Cam had Sprite on the big Sprite guy.
Yeah, he loves Sprite.
Yeah.
I know him pretty well. He loves Sprite.
I'm also a big Sprite guy.
Me too.
So, Justin, do you want to tell the people what we've got today?
Yeah, so today we have pretty awkward milkshake, which is an India Pale Ale by the Brewlink Brewing Company from Plainfield, Indiana.
Sticking with the Indiana beers. I like it.
For sure.
Keep it
local.
Keep it local.
Keep it local.
Keep it
drink,
local.
Drink local.
Yeah.
So let's give her a
Sprite.
crack open, and you'll crack open your Sprite.
Yep.
Oh, I can't. Oh, there it is.
There we are.
Man. Love
so that's what this. Which one is this? Because they have a bunch of different ones. This one, I believe, is the orange.
I think it's an orange creamsicle.
The
I think
bottle,
that's what it's supposed
The bottle
to be.
does appear to be orange.
Yes. So let's give our first sip. See how it tastes.
Boy, that sure is Sprite.
Oh damn, that is. I like that a lot. That was a lot better than the Candy Crushable.
It's definitely better than the Candy Crushable from the last.
No offense to the Candy Crushable, but
And I can tell from your guys' faces that it's definitely better than the Candy Crushable.
see, that's what we tried to play it off like the Candy Crushable was good.
Yeah.
Because
You weren't into it?
It was okay.
Cam loved it.
Cam didn't drink.
Yeah, you're right. Cam didn't drink it.
Reagan loved it.
Reagan
Reagan
loved it.
loved
That's
it.
the one.
That sounds like something Reagan would love.
I feel like
Trying to
Reagan.
start some beef on the podcast.
Yeah.
So
Well, that's what she called out some people, so it's only fair if people call out her.
Yeah.
for sure. Meet me in the
Reagan-
pit, Reagan. What's up?
Meet me in the pit. Dislocate her jaw like she did at.
Nah, man.
It's cool. So, how would you describe your music to somebody who may not be currently listening, but they should?
Besides, really good.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you flatter me. First of all,
Wow. First beer burp. There we are.
Yeah, there you go. That was a good one too.
I think it was some of that Little Caesars from before.
Yeah, probably. Little Caesar. I mean, that's a good, good assist.
Yeah.
Music, huh? I don't really know. I have a lot of problems like defining genre, and that sounds like really mad pretentious, but like I guess the best way to describe it would be like bedroom folk emo stuff.
I think that's that's exactly.
Yeah.
I think pretty much
yeah.
when people ask me what you are, I pretty much just say Indiana sad bedroom acoustic.
Yeah, that pretty much sums it up.
Yeah.
I think with my most recent EP, it's probably more like sad living room acoustic.
Okay, and that's
But
the Hermit.
Yeah, the Hermit.
Okay,
yeah.
and that was released 2017 or 2018.
2018. Last March actually. So
yeah, because you released that right before we released Emo Kids.
Yeah,
right.
I think so, or maybe a little bit after. I played that.
Because you played the release show.
Yeah, I played the release show. That was
killer.
That
show.
was awesome.
It was
yeah, with
you, Bogues, Chase Euglin, and us.
Seeing Chase Euglin, man.
You big Chase Euglin guy?
I was, dude. Chase. Your New Boy was like one of the first songs I learned by ear on guitar, man.
Are you serious?
That was a moment for me, and I got to play with him, and I got to finally apologize to him for sending him my really shitty EP when I was like 14 on Facebook.
I do remember that.
Yeah.
It was out at the van.
I think I told you I was like, the one thing I got to do today is I got to make sure to apologize to Chase because that's not cool, man. I can't be sending people that music.
Yeah, that's what Chase just played here in my living room.
Yeah, I saw that.
Not that long ago. It was only a couple months back,
Yeah.
but yeah, he had a tour date cancel and was like, "Hey, is it okay if we play in your living room?" And I was like, "Yeah." Fuck.
Hell yeah.
So that's what we played. It was Dana Scully, me, and then Chase.
Yeah.
And it was still nice out, so me and Dana played outside, and then we brought the party inside.
For sure.
It was a grand old time.
That's tight.
But yeah, hopefully Chase will come on soon. That's what.
Yeah,
I mean,
That'd be
I-
awesome. I'll tune in for that.
Yeah, that's what. I mean, I've known him since my first.
You're both
Chase-
Fort Wayne boys,
Yeah,
right?
that's what we grew up down the street from each other, actually.
Oh, man.
And we worked at the same record shop in high school. RIP Entourage Records. It was fun while it lasted.
Cool. So, do you have like any upcoming releases or tour or shows you kind of want to drop the bomb on?
I do have an upcoming show coming up. Yeah.
Yes, you do.
Some would say we all have a show coming up.
This is also true.
I don't know when this episode's gonna go out, but
Probably next Wednesday, so probably the
yeah.
day
So
before.
so
Yeah.
tomorrow.
Yeah, so
Thursday the 27th.
Likely
Yes.
tomorrow.
Yes.
Yeah, that is a
Tomorrow to the people who are listening.
at the sauna.
At the sauna
It's
in
going
Muncie,
down.
Indiana. Some killer
Honey Be
bands.
Well, Jail Socks.
Jail Socks just
from
recently signed to
No Sleep Records.
Yep.
Vermont, which
Yep.
is awesome. I played a show with them in Akron,
And we played a show with them in Cincinnati,
Cincinnati,
they
yeah.
were
/ Florence,
so
Kentucky.
nice, and they're awesome live as well. And
Killer band. They're a bunch
Dana-
of young guys, aren't they?
yeah, they are. They're like our age. So.
Yeah.
It's wild.
Is Dana playing this one too?
Dana is also
Dana
playing this one.
Scully and yours
Yours
truly. Yeah.
Maxwell B. Trainor.
Maxwell B. Trainor. Yes. Tell the Wall.
Tell the wall.
Yeah. It's sure to be a fun time. It's always fun at the sauna.
Oh,
for sure.
I think the sauna boys are also gonna come on the show sometime.
For sure, yeah, no, definitely.
They would definitely get a kick out of it. So we talked a little bit about this earlier of you knowing Cam and you being in a band in high school.
Yeah,
you were in a band with Cam.
Yes, that's true. I was. We're trying to weave a continuity through the episodes of Gear Over Beer, so this is an extension of the story, if you will. Cam and I met Cam Perceptions Cam on Instagram.
Cam Todd.
If you go, Cam Todd, Todd Cam for those.
Also,
I'm really just like proud of Max for plugging everybody but himself on the social media.
Dog.
I love how we did not bring up the fact that Cameron Todd was prom king.
Oh my gosh!
High school.
The world needs
his
to know.
own episode.
Yeah.
So if you're listening, breaking news. If you did not already know.
Cam Todd was prom king in high school, and he should be proud of it. So next time you see him,
he is not. So just
go up to him, shake his hand,
say
maybe
Your Highness.
bow, call him Your Highness. Make sure he's proud of it. I mean, because like not all of us got that far in high school. So
I definitely didn't.
Yeah, me neither, man.
Dude, that's funny because like I don't know. I still see people occasionally that I went to high school with, like at the bars or something here, and it's like always weird. Because like I was such a different person in high school. Like I was your stand-up Christian.
Mm-hmm.
I don't need to drink or do anything to have fun. Why would people ever?
Yeah.
And then I got to college,
and it ruined you.
And now you're a wreck.
And and now I have a beer podcast. But no, so I don't know. I think that's just like you get your first good heartbreak in right coming into college, and it just all starts to add up.
Exactly. But no, before all the fame and the royalty,
the fame, the money,
Cam and I actually met.
The women.
We met in 6th grade. We played hockey against each other. My team beat his team to go to the finals. Fun fact for you. If we're just going to keep flexing on him.
I think we should flex on Cam as much as we possibly
in this
can.
Episode specifically, yeah.
But or every episode going forward, like in the future.
Yeah, I'll never forget the first time he ever talked to me, though, because it was on the playground. Because we still had recess at this time.
How old were you guys?
I would have been like 11 or 12. He was probably 13 or 12.
So this is middle school.
It was a little bit before middle school. It was like at the end of 6th grade, I think.
Oh, wait. Is 6th grade not middle school for you guys?
Oh, not. Yeah, sorry. Westfield's weird. Sorry. That is middle school everywhere else. But we have what's called intermediate school.
Oh, is that just
5th
7th and 8th? Oh, 5th and 6th?
7th and 8th is middle school where I grew up.
So there's elementary school,
which is
first through
kindergarten through 4th, then intermediate school, which is 5th and 6th, middle school 7th and 8th, and then high school's normal. Yeah.
Yeah, not the high school I went to, but I'm not county rival, but like another school in the county was like that. They had 5th as middle school.
But anyway, I was on the playground in 6th grade, right? And Cam comes up to me with his his poof hair and
I can only imagine
his
the same
confident
haircut.
walk. He comes up to me and he goes, I'll never forget. He goes, "Hey, you play hockey, right?"
Darn tootin' right,
and I was like, yeah.
Yeah, I crossed
and
you
he,
up last
and he
week.
was like, he said something along the lines of, "Hey, we're hockey bros." He pulled out a ripped piece of loose leaf paper from his pocket and he said, "Come to this show. Some of my friends are putting it on. It'd be awesome, especially since we both play hockey." And then he walked away.
A show like music?
Yeah. It never.
Kids were throwing shows in middle school?
It never happened because it got shot down by someone's mom, I believe.
Oh, that sounds about right.
But I'll never forget it. And then we didn't talk for like 4 years.
And I thought that was just like the beginning to a great friendship. You guys went to a show, bonded, became hockey bros.
No, I thought it was really weird. But we always had him in the back of my mind.
Jonesy
And
story.
so in high school, fast forward, like I guess it's like 3 years now because it was like sophomore year or so. I did theater in high school. I'm gonna dox myself a little bit there, but he was part of tech theater. He like helped run the auditorium.
I feel like people talk shit a lot about like high school, middle school show choir. It really wasn't that big.
Well, I wasn't in show choir 'cause I can't sing, but I was in the theater.
Not show choir, but like the theater. I feel like
sometimes it's deserved though.
Trust me, there for every case of there not being a deserving judgment.
Yeah,
there's definitely.
But anyway, we're not going to talk about that right now. That's like a whole podcast on its own. But Cam ran tech theater, and at the same time, we were both going through like our emo phase, or at least starting to. I had just started listening to 21 Pilots and like modern baseball and stuff, and like, and he was really into 21 Pilots as well.
Yeah,
and
I kind of roasted him about that in the last podcast.
Well, when I was a kid though, what's important to know is that like I had never heard anything like that before. Like I remember
Chase actually showed me. He's the one who showed me 21 Pilots.
Yeah.
And it was probably freshman year of high school. And I remember being like, wow. And then they blew up.
Yeah.
I was like,
But like alternative music for me before that was like Foo Fighters or like Nirvana or stuff like that, and like 90s stuff. And I was like Blink-182 a little bit, and
there we go.
But then like I heard Vessel and I was like from my Pilots and I was like, wow. And I was like Real Emotions. And like that's what hooked me. We talked about that and we ended up doing he happened to know how to play the drum part to the song Car Radio, and I could play the piano part to it.
Oh. And
so we rolled up to this to like the auditorium early for this one show we were putting on, and the piano and drum kit were up and we just like jammed it. And after that, like he was always like, hey, if you ever need a drummer, like just hit me up. And so I started doing stuff with Tell the Wall, just like really, really crappy like bedroom recordings and stuff. And I wanted to be in a band because I was getting more and more into like emo music and like punk and stuff like that, specifically like Modern Baseball, like
the good stuff,
like all the like Philly based bands like Wonder Years, Real Friends, stuff like that. But so I hit him up to write a drum part for one of my songs that I was going to turn into a full band song, and then he came over and I had already started playing with these two other guys, which is a whole nother story about this, not the same length but similar length, and we formed Parkstone, which was our band in high school, and it was a really good time. It's where I consider I learned how to like really like be a musician, because like beforehand I was literally just like
did stuff here and there.
Yeah, I mean like it was chords and like just really basic stuff.
If you heard that buzz, I would just like to point out that was a message from my ex-girlfriend.
Oh, nice.
Who emo kids is pretty much all about, but that's a weird...
Man, this podcast really is just for calling people out, huh?
I wouldn't say so. We're on good terms now. So.
Oh, okay, never mind.
Anyways, back to Parkstone. Well, I heard the buzz. I saw Justin look over, and he just gave me that look like, interesting.
But anyway, back to Parkstone, yeah.
Great band. Never got to hear you guys, but I've only heard good things.
No, it was rough most of the time, not gonna lie. But like that, it was my first band, and all of our first band, our lead guitarist had been playing guitar for literally 3 months when we started playing. Mad ups, shouts out to the homie Trevor Krupe if he's out there. He also, just to show you how far he's come, he completely produced, mixed, and mastered my previous EP. And about 4 years ago, he could barely play the guitar. So, shouts out Trevor Krupe. You're the man.
That's great.
We're all about progression.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, that's what I think. When I started off playing, especially in Fort Wayne, there just was not a lot of opportunities.
Yeah,
and so I played in a worship band at my church, and that's how I became. That was like my first band, and that's how I became a musician. Well, and that's kind of weird to think about now.
We were really lucky because, I mean, like where I grew up, it's literally just like a suburb, so it's not like there's any venues or anything, But our school, actually, our high school, had like a lot of opportunities for the performing arts. For whatever reason, just like in the class that we were growing up in, like it was like a lot of people just happened to do like some sort of performance arts and stuff. So there was like a lot of opportunities. Like for instance, our library held Friday morning music every week, which is where on Fridays people would come in and like play like a 15-minute set in the library.
What? During school hours?
Yeah, like
that's
right before school started. Yeah, and we played that we played it like 10 times. We became like synonymous with like Friday morning music, and like it was cool because like people in high school like kind of knew our song and like wanted to like
support,
they seemed like into it, and that was awesome. Like that was the first, like it wasn't, I'm not gonna toot my own horn, it wasn't like we were blowing up, like
but there was like every once full blown sold out shows in the auditorium.
Yeah, no, people were lining up and stuff, but yeah, no, it was cool, and we got a chance to play some shows down in Indianapolis as well, from based
Square Cat, right?
Yeah, Square Cat Vinyl, which if you haven't checked it out is a dope record store.
Yeah.
So
they're always selling really cool shows.
Found Square, and they like outside of just having a decent like record collection as well, they also like throw really sick shows there.
Yeah, and
a lot of local talent and also touring acts. So.
And they have coffee in the back as well.
Yeah, they do. They have a coffee and a bar back there. Yeah. It's. I mean, I think the bar's technically all day, but yeah.
That's true.
But and that was really cool. That was like my first taste of it, and like it was then and there that like it kind of like solidified like this is what I got to do. Because it was just so much fun.
That's how. So the first show I ever played was with Justin, actually, and it was freshman year of college. Yeah, I had gotten convinced by my friend Sarah, who was in a sorority, to do like pretty much like the whole 4-piece nugget thing, like what we did.
We'll talk about that after this. We'll talk about the real first Honey Be Well show.
Yeah, exactly. And then so she convinced me to play, and I was like, all right. And I was the only guy who wasn't in a frat that was doing this whole show. And I just had like I think I had like a 6-minute set.
That's all you need.
A 6-minute set into a full Emmons auditorium.
You played Emmons here?
Yeah.
It was wow. We played
you played Emmons solo?
Things.
No, it was band. It was
Sick.
but yeah. Imagine that being your first show.
Yeah, and
I
got out there, I was like, huh.
And we played all the small.
We played
things.
all the small things and built this pool by Blink-182.
Wow, in Emmons?
In Emmons.
That's amazing.
Imagine starting off.
That's so punk.
And we started off with built this pool. So imagine just being like, all right. It was our buddy Colin who lived across. He played drums, and then our other buddy Teddy played guitar because we had all liked Blink. And so that's what I'm like, all right. So Colin counts us in, and then we just go straight into, ooh, whoa, I want to see some naked dudes. That's why I built this pool.
I can imagine it echoing through the halls of Emmons right now.
Yeah.
Wow.
Imagine everyone's faces going like, what? And then to dun-na, dun-na, to all the small things. And everyone's like, oh, shit, okay. And so
now you kind of tripped me up there, and I kind of alluded to this when you said first gig.
Yeah, that was like my first gig.
Your first gig. I thought you were talking about Honey Be Well's first gig.
That was not Honey.
With Justin?
No.
Question mark?
Question mark. So for the listeners at home
deep Honey Be Well lore.
Yes, who didn't know, the very first ever Honey Be Well show, when we were still going under the name 4-Piece Nugget.
4-Piece Nugget. Legendary.
In which we did not have an actual band name. And like literally Justin had just gotten hired at Journeys and was not able to like get the day off because he had just started.
It was like my second day,
Yeah. And so he had to be like, hey, I'm sorry guys, like I actually can't play this gig. And of course we're like, oh, great. And like we're supposed to play in front of the sorority, and
that's where I came in.
Yeah, and so that's when we found Max.
So this comes back actually because of Cam. So
yeah,
this is my freshman year of college. I guess 2 years ago.
Yeah, 2 years
technically.
ago.
Yeah. Wow.
I know.
Wow.
That show that we played was over 2 years ago.
Time flies, man.
You're telling me.
Time flies. But anyway, Cam was friends with Isaiah, which is even deep. Well, not even deeper. Slightly less deep Honey Be Well lore. He is a former member of Honey Be Well, and obviously I was friends with Cam, and we both came to Ball State, and he introduced me to Isaiah, and we came over and we jammed a little bit, and we hung
Cam
out.
knew Isaiah before?
Yeah, they met at. You want to hear this? They met at Warped Tour.
What?
Yeah.
Wild.
I did not know that.
Yeah, he did. He knew him first, and we went over to his house before Honey Be Well even started.
I thought you had known him.
No, it was Cam.
Did you not have? I thought you had a class with Isaiah.
Well, that's what I'm saying is then I had a class with Isaiah. So I met him before that, though, through Cam. And then Isaiah and I had a class, and he knew that I played music, and I had played when we jammed, I had played bass. And so Isaiah came to me in class one day. It was Honors 201. It was an ancient philosophy class.
Jesus.
We were talking about like Gilgamesh and shit. And afterwards,
Epic of Gilgamesh is tight.
Yeah, dude, for real. That's a banger. Read the Epic of Gilgamesh if you haven't. That's a must read. Yeah, it's tight.
Yeah.
It's like Wildman and like Conscious Doubt and stuff. Like,
really?
Yeah, it's good.
Oh wow, that actually sounds very interesting.
Yeah, it's tight. Yeah, you should. Yeah, come on, bud. But anyway,
sorry, I'm illiterate. But
anyway, Isaiah rolls up like to my desk and he's just like, "Hey, like we're playing this Battle of the Bands in the lawn in front of was the pool, right? It was like
what's it? That's
the lawn right there,
the
right off of McKinley.
Yeah,
Worthen Arena
in between
lawn.
Worthen and La Follette.
Yeah, La Follette complex, and he's like, our bassist dropped out. He told me something. He told me you were going to visit like your girlfriend or something. Or I don't.
That wasn't.
Yeah. Anyway, because that whole work thing was news to me. I just thought you were skipping out. But
No. Well, actually, I did.
What a doucher.
But I was like, yeah, man, for sure. And I came over and I was playing. We played Your Graduation.
We played Your Graduation.
We
what
played
else did we play?
Sex by the 1975, and we played What's My Age Again by Blink-182. And I learned the bass parts. I'd like to think pretty quick, pretty good.
You did.
And we played the gig, and I remember.
And the reason how we came up with 4-Piece Nugget is because you, me, and Isaiah went to Wendy's right before the gig.
True, yeah.
And we're like, what are we going to call ourselves?
4-Piece Nugget, man.
And we had all ordered 4-Piece Nuggets, and we're like, there's 4 of us in this little thing.
So let's set the scene. It's late afternoon, There's a stage. There's a bunch of sorority girls and like frat guys on the lawn in front of us. Some other people. There's like 2 rappers on right after us. All right.
We were the first band.
Yeah,
we were the first act to go.
And it's a battle of the bands, and we get up there, and we're gonna start with I think we start with Sex by the 1975, right? I'm pretty sure we did.
Don't look at me, I wasn't there.
Yeah, I don't know why I looked at you.
But I just remember starting the song.
I think we might have.
And then
did we end with Sex? Because I think I said the song's about sex. Maybe we did start off.
I
with
don't
sex.
know which one it is. I just remember when we played that song, when you said the word "fuck."
Yeah.
Like, I just remember looking at the audience and seeing everyone just go like wide-eyed and like drop their jaws, and I was like,
well, that's what you can't sing that song and not say that.
I know, but I was like, oh shit, and like
we just lost.
Yeah, and like
honestly, that's twice I've done that, because at that show, and then we also played as Honey Be Well at that same sorority event that me and Justin played at in Emmons, but a year later, and we did Sugar We're Going Down. And for whatever reason, you know, I go, isn't it messed up how I'm just dying to be?
Yeah.
I said, isn't it fucked up? And like, I had a buddy in the crowd, and he was sitting next to the judges. And apparently, as soon as I said that,
they went, yeah,
big cross through the paper. And
Which is wild, because we were hot at that show.
But
people, because we played that and the middle.
Well, you're speaking to the millennials there, my guy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, that's what, when you're playing to frat guys and sorority girls who are drunk, you got to give them the popular songs.
But anyway, we played the gig. It was pretty good. I felt pretty good about it.
Yeah, ripped the gig.
Yeah, we ripped the gig. It was tight. I still have got 2 of the best pictures ever taken of me taken at that show.
Did look pretty
Yeah,
good.
I mean, I was looking pretty crispy that day.
I would agree with that statement.
I think we were all looking pretty crispy.
Yeah,
honestly.
I had the hair down.
Yeah,
I had
dude.
the beanie with the
looking
denim
like Pop
jacket.
Punk Jesus over there, dude.
Yeah,
Pop
no
Punk
shit.
The emo Mozart, if you
Emo
will.
Mozart, if you will, yeah. Emo Jean Baptiste, if you will. Yes, but and then I don't remember why, but I hung out for like 10 minutes and then I bailed. And then later, I remember I was hanging out. This might be news to you, Justin.
This probably
but you
is.
said you wanted me to expose some people, so now it's time for you to get exposed, Noah.
That's true.
I love exposing Noah.
Because I was hanging out with them. We were sitting out on the porch of Isaiah's old place.
We were all smoking cigs.
We were all having a cig. And I remember Noah McCormick specifically saying to me, he's like, yeah, man, why don't you just be in the band? You're way better than our other bassist we had.
At the moment.
You said that?
That's true shit, man.
Also, I thought you were going to join Perceptions at that point.
Honestly, Max is probably better at bass than me, so it's fine. I'm okay with it.
The tension just rose.
Nah,
I
me
can
and Justin
feel
are
it.
cool.
Hey, Max, you want to start a band?
Nah, man, I don't do bands.
He's a solo guy. He wants full creative control.
I'm actually
if you want to know my favorite memory of Justin when we first started the band.
I love Justin memories.
Yeah. All right, before we do this, I should mention that I had only been playing bass for like a year at that point at all. And the only experience I had, really, I started playing because my friend in high school loved it to death. We told the story last time.
Yeah, you guys started
we should start like a metalcore band. And I was like, I can't play, but I'll buy a bass to learn.
Yeah.
So the only thing I had ever done is learn tabs to like songs and drop A.
Yeah.
You a metalcore kid, Justin?
He is a metalcore kid.
At one point, yes.
A reformed metalcore kid. I never knew that. Interesting.
Yeah. So I never had an emo phase either. So first time I listened to modern baseball was learning Your Graduation for that gig that I didn't play.
Wow.
Yeah.
That puts a spin on things.
Yeah.
It's an interesting spin.
So fun fact,
well,
if you ever asked me if I ever heard any song by any emo band ever, probably not.
But the funny thing is that because Perceptions was starting, and it was like at the same time as like around that gig, I would say.
Yeah.
Because Honey Be Well had just started up.
It was probably a couple weeks after that.
Yeah. And I think you might have even said something to me about it.
Yeah.
Before you brought it up to the whole band. Because I think at that point you're like, dude, I might go do this. And I was like, all right. But then when you brought it up to the band, you're like, yeah, but I'm not going to do it. And I was like, what?
Anyway, there's an end to this story.
Yeah.
So Noah says to me these words. He says, Justin, who you're in the band, basically, and
I don't remember that.
No, I'm exaggerating.
I 100% believe it. Yeah,
I was probably drunk.
A couple.
If I was smoking a cig, that would be what, sophomore year for me.
Yeah.
If I was smoking a cig at that point, I was definitely drunk.
Yeah. I think you were.
Yeah.
I wasn't.
Underage?
Nah. He was
21,
dude.
Completely underage.
He's like a third year junior.
Yes. If any cops who are listening who play Strat.
True shit. No.
Every cop plays a Strat.
True shit. Noah McCormick's 32 years old.
It's true.
That's the lore they don't want you to know.
Yeah. I'm actually I like to think I'm like a 38-year-old man trapped inside a 20-year-old boy's body.
I could see that.
Oh yeah.
But anyway, like I was saying, a couple of months go by. Like this was first semester. Winter break goes by. I talk to Isaiah every now and then in class. I don't really hear anything, and I'm on Twitter, because I was born in the end of the 20th century. Yeah, and I'm looking around and I'm seeing, there's this new band from Muncie. They're called Honey Be Well. I haven't heard of them. Let me check them out. And I open it up and I see it's the homie Noah and Isaiah and David and someone named Justin who I'd never seen before. And I was like, shit, I guess those guys really got it going. And then after that, I think you guys asked me to play that show with like Charmer or something. I think that was the first time we played together.
I don't think we asked. I think they just they put you on that
just happened to be on the bill.
Yeah, and I was like, oh shit, that's Max, and I didn't even know.
Yeah, and
our buddy Brendan just walked in the room. Hey, buddy.
Hey, how's it going?
Hey, we're doing the podcast.
Hey, we're doing a podcast. How about you shut the fuck up?
That's a cool thing you guys are doing.
That is a cool thing. We got wrestling on the TV if you want to watch and listen. Okay.
All right, sick.
And carry on.
But yeah, so I played that Charmer House show with you guys. It was you guys, Charmer, and me, right?
Yeah.
I think that was just the bill.
Dude, that was a crazy episode.
And fun fact, that was the first ever Tell the Wall show.
That was like the third ever Honey Be Well show.
Yeah,
But the weird thing for me is that I had been Tell the Wall for like 3 years at that point, though, because I started releasing music in junior year of high school, and then I finished. So like, I didn't play a show in 3 years with that project, and I played one with you guys. So,
hey, Brendo, you want to try the beer of the episode? It's a Brewlink Brewing Company presents a pretty awkward milkshake India Pale Ale, orange.
That was my nickname in high school.
That's weird.
Oh, that's awesome.
So yeah,
man.
tell me what you think of it when you drink.
Yeah. Anyways, back to the story you're gonna tell about your favorite story of me. I think I know what it is.
Oh.
Yeah. Is it you guys were telling me the chords for one of the songs, and I said, guys, just give me the numbers.
Yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about.
He's like, guys, can you just give me the numbers?
I remember doing the slides and like saying like, yeah, it's like a B flat to like an E slide in the song, and they were like,
what? Gasp.
What did you just say, man? And he's like, yeah, he was asking for the numbers.
Yeah, it was.
Hey,
yeah.
You got to get it done. They don't ask how, they ask how many,
Now
true.
I think I'm at least.
Oh,
I've
been so proud of you.
I know. I've grown so much.
We have all grown as musicians, except David. David's just been good the entire time. It's kind of annoying.
Yeah, fuck that guy.
But no, speaking of that,
David's a sweetheart.
I fucking love David.
But speaking of that Charmer show, I accidentally took I always say accidentally. I took an edible on purpose, but like to like calm my nerves, but not knowing how much I had actually.
Yeah.
Like not because with those things.
You gotta be careful with that shit, man.
And so I took it like it's like before you had even started. I was like, all right. Also, we thought Charmer was going to headline. We didn't know we were going to do a local sandwich. And like we're like, yeah, dude. We're like as soon as they walked in, we're like, yeah, we're super excited to open up for you guys. They're like, oh no, we're open up for you guys. And I turned to the boys. I said, shit.
And then they played.
And
they were so good.
Imagine
man.
having to play after Charmer. Dude,
they hung that
fair.
mic from the ceiling, and the one guy was just yelling into it.
Yeah.
Wow.
Matt was their old bassist name. Matt was a sweetheart. But yeah, and then that edible hit hard right before we went on, and Dave was counting us in, and I turned back to David and I said, "Fuck."
This is the way it goes sometimes.
And that show went horrible.
Yeah. Oh no, you guys sound fine.
So that's why so I don't like doing anything before shows anymore.
Nah.
Except like a PBR I'll do because like that's not gonna ruin me.
Yeah, man, I gotta stay sharp. I can't even have like a cup of coffee before a gig. I get
really?
I get too nervous. I got stage fright, man.
That's the one thing I do
scared
love.
of people. I don't know if you ever see, but a little bit of at any Toe the Wall show, if you look closely, my eyes always closed.
I do that a lot.
I don't look at the eyes. I can't stand. I don't like them looking at me.
That's fair.
Yeah.
That's why I always love when like Cam's there because I would just like lock onto him.
Yeah.
Cam's a friendly face.
That's the great thing. Whenever we have a show together, or if Cam is there, or you're at the gig, it's either like you always play Cook, and I'll get up there with you.
I'm playing Cook Thursday, dude.
Are you?
Yeah. Well,
we might have to play your grad then.
It's a Muncie show with Tell the Wall and Honey Be Well on it. We gotta play your graduation.
I was gonna say
man.
it's usually Cook and your grad.
Yeah.
Those are the two that. Remember we played a solo gig together at Two Cats
we played
Cafe.
R.I.P. Two Cats. Not really though. I'm a cup loyalist. I have to be.
I mean, I didn't go to Two Cats for the coffee.
Yeah, they had good food though.
Oh yeah, dude, their chicken tenders.
R.I.P. Two Cats. Let's
agree on that.
Two Cats. There were some nice people,
But
folks.
you didn't play Cook that night. I remember being super upset, and like my set was over. I was like, actually, I'm gonna play one more, and like I brought you up, and we played Cook. I remember I had to like.
Before he says this though, I'd like to point out that the only people at the show were my roommate, my girlfriend at the time, and Noah's mom. So please
and
continue.
Some of my friends.
So none of my friends.
All right. but so yeah, there might have been a total of what, 10 people in that entire place.
I'm gonna go ahead and say a strong 7 on that one.
7? Okay,
yeah.
That's fair. But we played Cook. I remember I had to censor a lot of our songs.
Yeah, but you didn't
because
censor that one, did you, bud?
But no, because like when it gets to the part where what does he say?
Down the fucking drain. Yeah,
yeah. I had to like I
censored myself, and you went in, and I was like,
I just remember looking over at my mom going.
And what I was thinking was, we're not gonna get free food now. So.
I had already gotten my free food.
Me
I was
too.
eating it like mid-set,
I was
in between songs while I was tuning.
I had a banana peanut butter smoothie,
You did?
and I drank that while I was performing. There was like a bunch of whipped cream on it. It looked super frou-frou. It was awesome.
That sounds delicious.
Yeah.
So who'd you say some of your influences are in your music?
Oh, God. So, I think first and foremost, like, I gotta pay respect to, like, the cornerstones of, like, my musical, like my like musical landscape, and that would probably be like first and foremost, and probably most importantly, modern baseball.
Oh yeah,
I think that's something we really bonded over when we met. In particular, is that like
Isaiah wore the modern baseball shirt when we played that gig,
and so there's a certain demographic of person at college that has listened to modern baseball in the way that you and I have listened to modern baseball, and those people are all like kind of the same people, but like different evolutions.
Do
like
you
in
remember
Pokemon,
when we played that show and I said who here likes modern baseball, and all these sorority girls start clapping? I was like, oh, they definitely thought I was just talking about regular like American baseball, and I was like, God, I was like, that's not what I was talking about. But anyways, carry on.
But yeah, I mean, when I heard modern baseball for the first time, like it was just one of those moments where it was like this is written for me, you know? And like I think most of like my like favorite artists, like, you know, that's kind of like a pervading theme, is that like that's like when I listen to it, I can find it like highly either relatable or like in some way apply it to my own life, you know, or like, you know, can kind of see myself in the music. And that kind of leads into, and this will make a lot more sense now, my favorite artist, probably tied for my favorite artist of all time, is Elliott Smith.
I was gonna say, I remember you and me. We've talked a lot about Elliott Smith.
Elliott Smith is what I basically based my entire my entire career, if you can even call it that, off of. He's like modern baseball is one thing, and that kind of got me into more like actual alternative and like independent music and stuff. But then when I found Elliott Smith, who isn't necessarily like alternative or independent anymore, but like the best way to put it is he is the godfather of every bedroom music beanie wearing sad boy in the country. And that's like and that's me. So like I when I heard Elliott Smith, more so than anything else, I really thought like this man's singing for me from the past, essentially. And just in general, that like kind of reinforced my love of acoustic guitar, because he's mostly an acoustic artist, especially on his earlier stuff, which is like my favorite stuff. And I don't know how many people out there have heard Tell the Wall or listened or seen a show or anything, but like
big fan.
I do acoustic. That's what I do. I love the acoustic guitar. I've just never liked electric as much as I've liked acoustic.
Because you've kind of gone back and forth between acoustic and electric.
Yeah, and I've tried it out both ways. I've done electric, like where just my electric guitar instead of an acoustic in certain spaces when it's just like a little bit easier to get the sound out there. But I try to play acoustic as much as possible, and preferably like without mics, and like because I really love being like just like there and like being able to like.
That's a big thing that Dana does too.
Yeah.
When she doesn't like. Like if she's doing an acoustic,
if it's just
show.
like a living room or like a basement or something, like, and you don't really need the mics, especially with acoustic. I mean, like you can make that thing sound, and I really love how that sounds in particular. He also, like, a lot of the ways that I just choose to play guitar are based around like Elliott Smith's way. Like he does a lot of finger picking, which is like my favorite thing to do. And he does a lot of like internalized melody. Within like the chords rather than like actually playing the melody, and that's like chord changes and things like that are like my favorite thing to do. And so like Elliott Smith, even like in a different vein. Like I would say, completely different vein than modern baseball. But Elliott Smith is like my idol, my true hero. So like, one time my friend told his girlfriend that all you need to know about Max is that his favorite artist of all time is Elliott Smith.
Kind of like the only thing you need to know about Cam Todd is that he was prom king.
Yeah, a little bit, just a little bit. But outside of that though, like I only say the only other band that I would really say is like super influential on me is Los Campesinos.
Okay.
And if you haven't heard Los Campesinos, you got to stop what you're doing right now. I'm not joking. Pause the podcast. Do it. Go look up Los Campesinos and listen to them right now, because the fact that they are not like a massive cornerstone of indie rock is a crime and should be punishable by death.
Wow, bold.
I love Los
Bold
Campesinos,
statement.
and they do not get the credit they deserve, in my personal opinion. They are, in my opinion, the greatest band of all time.
Okay.
That's all I'm going to say about it. You just go listen to Los Campesinos right now.
Okay.
All right, cool. Well, now the next thing we're going to ask is if you give us kind of like a little rig rundown for what you use when you play.
Oh, rig rundown. Well, for me, it's kind of simple.
A simple man.
And in most cases, if I am playing through like an amp, I play through a JC40, Roland JC40. I know you're.
Speak to my heart.
I know you're a jazz chorus man yourself.
I actually just sold my jazz chorus.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah,
broke my heart because I needed the money at the time.
It's the best chorus in the biz, folks. There's no two ways about it. It's just so warm.
So what was the reason why was there like an artist that you listened to that made you want to get that? Johnny Marr from the Smiths played like a JC 120 in the 80s. Yeah, and Robert Smith
as well.
And then
Johnny Marr is my favorite guitarist of all time.
Really?
Yes.
That's and then Austin from Turnover.
Yeah, he used one for. I don't know if he does anymore, but he did.
Yeah, he still uses the JC.
Sick. Like
but he doesn't play the J Mascis.
Yeah, he has the Strat, like it's like American-made Strat now, right?
I don't know, man. Turnover was like, it's great, but I feel like the Jazz Master was perfect for that.
He's a cop.
I guess
he's a cop.
Yeah, he's a cop now. I mean,
does that make Cam's a cop? Because Cam plays a Strat.
Well, I just bought a Strat, but it's not my main, so I think that makes me like an undercover cop.
So you're an undercover cop.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Okay.
So what kind of if you're playing what's your acoustic guitar if you're playing acoustic?
So acoustic, I play. It's an Epiphone 1964 Texan reissue.
Oh, those are nice.
Yeah, it's modeled after the guitar that, I know this doesn't mean anything, that Paul McCartney used to play.
Okay.
I just really like in particular the Epiphone body shape, because I'm like tiny.
Yeah.
And so like a lot of acoustic guitars are super bulky, and this one isn't like a small scale or a small size, so like you still have like plenty of a chamber to resonate, and like it doesn't give like super twangy or like, shrill, but it's like nice. Elongated, and so it's a little bit easier to get your arms around, and that's nice because I can get my hands nice and close for like finger picking and stuff like that.
What about electric?
So actually, for electric, for a really, really long time, I played the same Squier Bullet Strat I got when I was like 14. It's covered in stickers and like Sharpie and stuff. And like
every emo kid had one.
Yeah, it's a Bullet Strat, so it's like literally the lowest quality they sell. But that thing sounds surprising. That thing sounds surprisingly good. Like, I don't know if it's the stickers that just insulate it or something. I don't know if that has anything to do with it, but I think it actually sounds like pretty nice. But recently, I was thinking, how can I play electric guitar and make it as humanly close to an acoustic as possible?
Semi-hollow.
I got a semi-hollow. I bought it's strange because I always consider myself like a Fender person, but I play 2 Epiphones now because I play the Epiphone ES339, which is like
339s, which are great because they're kind of smaller.
Yeah, it's literally like a dot or a 335 shape, but like smaller, and again easier to get my hand around to finger pick, and like once again I'm tiny and like I have small hands in particular, and so it's like it's a little bit easier to maneuver around, and I love that guitar. It sounds amazing.
That's
like,
I had beautiful. The Tom DeLonge ES333.
Yeah, dude, I wanted one of those so bad.
I had one, and it was just so big, like it's like a normal 335, and but
335s are massive, dude.
I know. So that's why I sold it, just because I looked like a baby holding up a grown man guitar.
Yeah.
It's wild. Max is talking about being small, and I'm also a pretty small person.
And you play bass.
And both of us have played bass for Honey.
Yeah, I know. What's up with that? Dude, bass is like, no joke, bass is like the hardest instrument for me. Because I've got like my hands are just not conducive to like, I'm better like, I have like piano player hands, basically, not bass player hands, but I make do.
That's why I was really bad at bass. And still really bad at bass. My hands are too small.
I've played in 4 bands in my lifetime, and I've played bass in 3 of them.
How big are your hands, Justin?
Do you want to compare hand size, Justin?
Yeah. We got about the same. Yours are a little bit meatier than
I'm
mine.
about to get humiliated. Oh,
That's not that bad.
small hand boys. Oh, I gotta.
Yeah, it's got a little bit longer
No, it's showing
fingies.
his male dominance over me.
I
with his
mean,
bigger
I am
hands.
the alpha male.
Yeah, that's fine. You can have it.
I was gonna say I think my pinky's longer than yours, but I realized
That's
you
just
say
'cause-
hand, that's all
yeah.
busted.
Yeah, I broke this pinky
Yeah.
playing baseball, like sliding in head first.
Oh, sick.
And
That's
broke
punk.
it, and then never got it fixed. And So
Oh.
like it's just like
So
so,
it's
I can't lift it up.
So it's just like fucked.
Yeah,
Okay, cool.
yeah, it's pretty awesome actually.
That's righteous. Yeah.
What pedals are you running,
So
if any?
pedal wise, when I do run pedals, because I used to play in like a band with like a full electric, I use a Boss TU3 tuner.
Oh yes,
My favorite tuner, the standard, the industry standard. It
and
should be
it
at
is-
least.
I think the Polytune is better.
Man, the Polytune can suck my nut. I hate the Polytune. Polytune sucks. All right.
a singular nut.
Yeah. I hate the Polytune, man.
Why?
It's got that weird thing where if you strum multiple strings, it'll like.
Yeah, I will tell you which one's out of tune.
Yeah, but
So,
it
like,
doesn't really work, and I just want one string, Noah. I don't need all 6.
But you can't see the
The TU.
the TU3 yet.
Yeah, it's so tiny.
If there's any light whatsoever shining out, you can't see
The
it.
Polytune has a thick screen. That's what's nice about her.
Yeah, well, it's
I
no
ha-
Boss TU.
Well, I used to have one, and then I upgraded to the Polytune.
Upgraded.
Upgraded.
Whatever. We'll move on.
Yes.
but
Next question.
Then
Everybody should use the snark tuner
Yeah,
pedal.
he had
yeah,
the snark
yeah,
for the
yeah.
longest
Yeah,
time.
for
That
sure.
was his only pedal on his board. Called him the big.
Yeah, it was.
Called him the big tuna.
That's good. You should copyright that. Make shirts.
I'm
Honey Be Well and the Big Tuna.
not a bad
The
idea.
Office probably has it copyrighted, honestly.
Tuna, big tuna.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. But then I usually play into it's an earthquaker device pedal. It's called the
Oh.
Levitation.
Nice.
It's like modeled off like a spring reverb, so it's like does a little bit of delay as well. And like I was never really using delay for like full on delay, more so just for
Yeah.
space. So it was like perfect for me. And it can also do some pretty wacky stuff. It's got an atmosphere knob, which the higher you turn it up, like the more it sends the signal back into the signal. And so so it's like feedbacking
Yeah.
essentially. And if you turn it all the way open, it infinitely feedbacks. And you can get some pretty wacky noises out of it. It's got a lot of really cool settings, and it's
I'm
very.
gonna have to look into that.
It's awesome.
That's because I almost got the Descent, the earthquake.
Yeah,
Or
for
no,
sure.
sorry, that's the Walrus Audio Descent. Because that's what Julian Baker.
Yeah,
she's
no,
got
that's
like
cool.
17,000.
that one's cool too. Yeah. But I usually then I go into distortion. But my distortion setup's kind of goofy. Like
Okay.
I do one of two things. I go straight into the JHS double barrel.
Yeah.
I picked up the JHS double barrel solely
also
because Jake from Modern Baseball did
Mhm.
like a talk where he went through his pedal board and he used one, and I was looking for. Basically, I had this problem in my head. I was like, I want a boost and like an overdrive.
Yeah.
But like it's so hard to get ones that are like compatible sometimes.
It
Like
is.
sometimes one will just suck your signal out.
Because
and,
that's what for the longest time I used. Oh God, what did I use?
did you have like an OCD driver?
You had an OCD and
I
a
had-
DS1, right?
Yeah, the DS1 was the first pedal I ever bought, and so
DS1 and an
so I like
OCD?
barely
That's
used.
fucking
Yeah,
punk,
so-
dude.
I know. The fact that I just admitted to having a DS1. Everyone
Hey,
had a
man,
DS1
everyone-
at
I
one
had
point.
a blues driver actually. So
Blues driver's nicer.
Yeah.
At least I didn't have a metal zone. I think we can all agree that
yeah, good stuff. Do you have a metal zone,
Did you have a
Joseph?
No, I
metal zone?
didn't.
For a second, I thought maybe you had a metal.
No,
zone.
you definitely seem like the type.
I
who
didn't
would
have a metal zone. I did have a
Did everyone here have a Line 6 Spider?
I had a line. Yeah, I had a
I
Line
never
6
had a
Spider
Line
4.
6 Spider. I had the Marshall MG30FX though, which is basically the
which
same
is
thing.
basically
I still
Marshall.
have my.
I still
my
have
Line
mine
6.
back at
It's covered
home.
in stickers also.
Dude,
like,
Isaiah used the Line 6
Yeah, yeah.
for the longest time.
I remember
And I was
that.
like, buddy, you gotta get.
Yeah, you gotta get something else.
But then he finally did, so that was nice.
But yeah, so I either do the JHS double barrel, and now it's like really nice because it's like two really good like kind
It's
of
like a
overdrive
nice
pedals.
transparent overdrive,
And then, like,
which
a pretty
is
one-
because it's the what's it called?
It's the Soul Food, I believe. It's
no, it's not the Soul Food. It's the Morning Glory,
Morning Glory. Yeah, there
and
you
then
go,
it's like
sorry,
a
my
Tube Screamer clone on the other
Yeah,
side.
TS9
And yeah,
clone.
ever since I put that on my board, it's just been
It's awesome.
it's tone central.
But I found that it lends itself to a little bit more punkier stuff.
It does.
And so when I'm playing something a little bit more mellow,
Just keep the Morning Glory
well,
on.
what I would do actually, I use two pedals instead. I have this boutique like boost pedal. It's from like I think it's called like boomfx.com or something. I found it
Okay.
on Reverb. They were having a sale on them for like it was like $25. I picked it up.
Score.
It's super nice. And it's like it doesn't do anything to your tone. It just like literally gives it a volume boost and a little bit of breakup. And like
that's nice.
That's what I was looking for because I wanted to be able to run it into something like another distortion pedal essentially, but just not like and not have the signal just be absolutely wrecked. So what I was doing for a really long time was I was running that pedal into what was a Digitech Bad Monkey distortion. Oh, I don't know if you've heard of that pedal.
I do know that pedal. That's is that like their Tube Screamer clone?
Kinda, except for you have tone control on it. So a low and a low, a mid, and a high.
Okay.
So you can get some like really, really warm like I played, like I said, the JC40 is a solid state amp.
Yeah.
But like playing it through that thing, it could almost sound like I was playing through a tube amp if I like EQ'd it right.
See, that's what I never used the distortion. The distortion on the JC120 was just trash.
Yeah, no, the distortion on it is terrible. The channel itself is like awful. It's good if you're doing like some lo-fi stuff though. Like I used to.
Oh yeah, it would be great for that.
I used to do a cover of Two-Headed Boy by Neutral Milk Hotel.
Oh.
And I would plug my acoustic into my amp for that song and turn the distortion like about a quarter of the way.
That would give it.
And it's not.
Yeah, that's a nice.
It was the right sound. But that Bad Monkey distortion is like my favorite pedal that I've ever owned. And you want to know the real bitch of it? Someone stole it.
Oh.
So I'm looking for a new one. If anyone out there has got a Digitech Bad Monkey distortion they're trying to get off their hands, hit me up. I will buy it from you.
At the wall.
At wall610 on Instagram.
Wall610.
At Max_Trainor on Twitter.
Max Trainor on Facebook.
Trainer is with an OR.
Yeah, the Russian way, not the Irish way.
I was gonna say.
But that's like the extent.
I'm Irish.
You're Irish?
Ouch.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, I didn't mean. I wasn't like. I was just like,
No, it's cool, man. I mean, it's fine.
But yeah, that's basically the entirety of my gear. I would love to get more into it, but like I said, most of my shows though, I'm literally like, I got my acoustic guitar. I'm just up front, doing me.
Excellent.
Yeah.
So I guess this would lead us into a recurring segment that I think is going to have to be on just about every show because we got some pretty good stories out of Cam and Reagan from Perceptions. Would be house show horror stories. Do you have any?
Okay, I've
always a good start. It's like, okay.
I've got a couple. I'm trying to figure out which ones I can tell. So this one wasn't really a house show, but it was let's just say a DIY venue.
Okay, that's fair.
And
they're pretty much.
I'm not gonna say which one, but I was playing with this band called Harmony Woods I believe they're from Philadelphia. They're awesome. They are all super nice. I actually helped them get booked at this venue through a friend, name of Alex Coots. Alex Coots from DIY Midwest. Shouts out to Alex Coots. He's the man also.
Oh, does he run that?
He's part of it, yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
He let me stay at his house in Akron, and I played a show there. He's the nicest man alive.
They've shown us a lot of love.
Yeah, they're tight. Shouts out the entire DIY Midwest and Alex Coots.
At DIY Midwest?
Yeah, at DIYM, I think it is what it is.
Yeah.
But definitely give them a follow. They're always like putting out like a really great bands and like
playlists
some really cool
of just
shows.
Some really nice, a lot of genres too.
I literally just DM'd them and asked them to put me on a show in Ohio, and they did. So like they're super nice and like they'll give anyone a chance. So
that's nice.
Yeah, they're sick. But him and I booked this show together, and I got put on it because we needed another act. So I roll up to the venue. I'm told that that music is supposed to start at 7. I'm late for reasons, and I'm opening, and it's like 7:05, and I roll in, and it's dead. There's no one there. There's only one employee there. The sound guy hasn't even shown up yet. The sound guy eventually rolls up, and he's like, "Oh, hey, what's up?" He's like, "Yeah, I think we're gonna start music at around like 8:30." And I was like, "But the event's at 7." He's like, "Yeah, well, no one's here, so it's whatever." And I was like, okay, that's fine. And Harmony Woods rolls up, and they were there like before me, but they were hanging out in the parking lot because they'd already found out what was going on, essentially. And so like we wait till 8:30. First of all, we do a sound check, and then my guitar isn't working. It doesn't the battery's fine. I'm plugging it in, like I'm going like straight to the board, and it's just not working.
Please tell me the guy just has like mute on.
I don't know what was happening because he was literally like, there was another guy playing. I can't remember his name right now, but he was also an acoustic artist, and he had already set up his stuff, and his was working fine. He was doing the exact same thing I was doing, and he was like, "Why don't you just play his acoustic guitar?" And I was like,
because it's his acoustic
guitar. I don't want to do that. But the guy was like, "Oh no, it's fine, man. If it'll be easier, it's whatever." And I was like, "Okay." First of all, this guy's acoustic guitar is fucking massive.
Was it a jumbo?
It was like a grand auditorium or something. Like it was massive, And he had his action
I can only
so
imagine.
high. So high.
I can only imagine you holding
I
a
was literally
jumbo
like,
acoustic.
I felt like a toddler pushing my chin like above the counter, like trying to like look at dinner or something. It was
cute
terrible.
little Max.
And I was gonna sit down because usually for like my more low key shows, like I like to sit on a stool, but all they could give me was a folding chair, and so I was like really low to the ground. And the few people that did like come down to the where the music was going on, I had to like look up like 45 degrees to see them. And so 8:30 rolls around, and all this has happened already. And he's like, yeah, there's not a lot of people here, so I think we're going to wait till 9. I was like, all right, chill. 9 rolls around. He's like, yeah, there's not a lot of people here, so I think we're going to wait till 9:30.
Bro,
and I was like,
a hint.
And I was like,
people aren't getting to the gig.
I was like, okay, fine. And then when 9:30 came around, and he said, there's not a lot of people here. I think we're going to wait till 10. And then 10 rolled around, and he was like, there's still not a lot of people here. I think we're going to wait till 10:15, and that's the latest. And I was like, okay, man.
Yeah, 10:15. The show was supposed to start almost
7,
3
yeah.
and a half hours
over
ago.
By 10,
it gets better.
Yeah.
So it starts to rain outside pretty hard.
But I think we would have just drove home.
And I'm about to go on. I'm playing, and I'm sitting in this folding chair, and I'm trying to like pull myself over the guitar. I'm fucking up every song, and I feel terrible. There's no one there, and like this band that came all the way from Philadelphia, they're on a tour to play here, has like no one there to support them, and like I'm like doing terribly, and so I just like try to get in the zone. Like I do a little bit better, and I'm like focusing in. I'm like, there's no one here, so I might as well just make this like practice, you know? So just like
we've done
zone
that
in.
before.
And so I do, and then suddenly I hear like a rustling on my side, and the lead singer of Harmony Woods, bless her soul, is like moving one of my bags because water is slowly creeping up to like the electronics and stuff on the stage. And I open my eyes and I look, and the entire like area that the place was going on was flooding. And so I finish my song, and I'm just like, I don't know what to do, because it's like it's coming in and it's getting worse. And eventually someone comes down and starts like basically like brooming it, trying to get it all into the bathroom.
Did that happen at Be Here Now for Perception? There's something where
now
I think that was this at Be Here Now?
It's not important.
Okay.
Now that would have been one thing, because I was like, oh, it's just the rain seeping in. It starts to smell.
Yep, it was Be Here Now, wasn't it? They have that issue sometimes.
I can neither confirm nor deny the allegations.
I love Be Here
that
Now.
Noah
Don't get me
McCormick is
wrong.
putting out.
Great DIY.
It may or
venue.
may not have been Be Here Now. But anyway, so I finish my set. Everything smells like shit. There's about an inch of water on the ground. There's a guy who keeps pouring like dish soap on the ground, and then
so it's just turned into a huge slip and slide.
And another guy is taking like one of those huge garage brooms and trying to push all the water into the drain into the bathroom. And now there's like a swamp in the bathroom, so no one can piss. And I walk away, and I go up to the person who runs the place, and I say, "What's going on?" And he says, "Don't worry. It's completely safe." And then he gives me a wink. and I was like,
that's not a situation
I was
to wink.
like, he was like, you could drink that water. And then he had
I
a little
do
chuckle.
not.
And I was like, I don't know if you're being ironic or not right now, man, but this is a time not to be ironic, all right? And so I stop. The next guy who I borrowed his guitar goes on, and he's like a total showman. He seems like he's played like a lot of bars and stuff, so he's doing like covers and like just good stuff. He got the crowd engaged and all that. And it's just there's more and more water. And so the few people that were coming down from like into the place where the music was being played pretty much left. And then Harmony Woods finally goes on.
As soon as you said what was happening, I was like, I know exactly what venue this is.
Essentially, I watched Harmony Woods play by myself. It was like a happy birthday to me type gig. And then afterwards, basically, they didn't have enough money to pay any of us. And so the person who was running it said they owed me a favor, and then Harmony Woods drove me back to my dorm room because it was pouring down rain, and I hadn't brought an umbrella or a jacket.
Aww.
That is my DIY venue horror story.
Oh my god!
But I will say
had
it's
some
a very
some shitty stuff happen to us. That's pretty messed up.
Yeah, having shit water flood into the venue while you're playing doesn't exactly leave a positive like association.
Have you gone
with
back
people.
there since?
No,
to play?
I haven't.
Like, even have you even
Not
gone?
yet.
Gone?
I mean, I went to see a certain show for a certain band at this certain venue. Yes, I went back. I had to see it, and it was fine. But it was just
because during the Perceptions album release show.
Oh yeah, that was a good one.
That also happened.
Yeah,
and
it's
like
funny
right
how like
in front
that
of our
coinstance is like two different venues.
Yeah,
like, had the same
that's
problem.
nuts. Well, that's what it was like. There was a puddle of just like sewer water right in front of our merch table. I was like, well, of course no one's gonna buy merch.
The only other horror story I have, I can't tell on the podcast for legal reasons.
Oh, that's great. Well, when we go off air, I definitely want to hear this.
Okay.
Well, I think we're getting to a point that I've been very excited to talk about.
Oh shit! What up?
Professional wrestling.
Oh hell yeah!
We had talked about this.
The childhood dream.
Childhood, yeah. I mean, I know as a kid, I definitely wanted to be a professional wrestler.
I still want to be a professional wrestler.
Well, that's how I didn't know how they did it, and then now that I know like wrestling school is a real thing.
Listen,
like I've been contemplating in my head, like, could I get in good enough shape to do that?
I think about that all the time. I'm like, if I really put my nose to the grindstone,
I could
do it because I don't give a shit, right? Like I'm crazy.
Can you imagine being like a indie wrestler and a DIY wrestler and a DIY musician?
You know Mark Andrews, the wrestler? He wrestles for Impact, and I think he wrestles for NXT UK now.
Oh, really?
He has a pop punk band, actually.
Oh, that's killer.
Yeah, it's very like
I have dreamed of
very pop punk
of throwing a festival called Emo Mania, where it's just a bunch of emo bands and the stage is a wrestling ring.
You know, they have wrestling at Fest in Florida. They have like a wrestling league, like a promotion. Yeah. But no, that'd be tight. I'll play that show.
Yes, please.
Yeah.
That's what I think we came up with the idea with Mike. Mike from Summer Brews.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shouts out Mike from Summer Brews.
Mike from Summer Brews. Summer Brews just released a killer EP.
It's sick.
Oh, I remember that conversation because I recommended RK Emo.
Yeah, RK Emo. Yeah.
That's good. That's good.
So who are like some of your favorite wrestlers? Okay. Or what was your era of you watching it as a kid?
So when I was a kid, like I started like really paying attention to wrestling like right before WrestleMania 25. So like
that's what
I got to see like
24 was mine.
Undertaker versus Shawn Michaels for the first time. So that's like the era of wrestling that I watched the most when I was a kid.
That was the Randy Orton Triple H.
Yeah.
That like rivalry, all those promos.
Well, Jeff Hardy versus Matt Hardy, dude.
That was great. Well, I was at the Royal Rumble in 2009 where Matt.
Really?
Yeah, where Matt turned on Jeff.
Oh my god, dude!
Imagine.
I was so mad. I was so mad.
Imagine being there. And
dude,
like,
were you gonna like throw? Like, were you about?
Well,
to,
that's
like,
what I went there, and
down?
Jeff Hardy was one of my favorite. Like, I had the bands on.
Yeah,
like,
man.
You'll see me. Like, we'll watch it after the after the podcast.
You can see you.
Yeah, I'm holding up my Jeff Hardy sign.
Sorta.
It's like in the
he's like
background.
way off in the corner. You can like see a little white sign.
Yeah, I'll point it out.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
It was me though.
Yeah, I believe you.
But that's what I watched from like 2008 to I watched from probably ages. What did I say? I said last podcast, but
I watched from like 2009 to like 2012, I think. And then like I got into like middle school and high school, and I was like trying to be cool and shit.
Yeah.
And like
professional wrestling, not that cool once you got to middle school.
Yeah, because like there was already so much stuff people could make fun of you for. You just didn't want to give them another option.
So here's the thing that kind of got me off of it is like I would still watch it, but just not tell people that I watched it.
Yeah.
And this kid in middle school, he would always wear like his John Cena. He had like all the different.
I had that guy. There was that guy too at my school.
Yeah,
and I respected the shit out of him.
Yeah,
so I was like, let it fly, brother. Let it fly.
Well, that's what people ripped him apart.
Yeah.
And I was like, I feel like
Kids
I was
assholes.
always. They are. So I was always nice to this kid because I deep down felt his pain.
But I kind of stopped watching it, but I got back into it actually in high school.
I got back into it just a couple months ago. Me and Justin have gotten into it crazy.
My roommate Tommy is a big wrestling guy, and I like.
Shouts out Tommy.
Yeah, Tommy's.
Hope that Tinder profile is treating you well, bud. We put a lot of hard work into that.
We did. That's what. So Tommy wants to be on the podcast, and I was like, Tommy, you don't know anything about music. And you don't know anything about beer.
Dude,
when we
Tommy
go out,
call him up. Tommy's in Tell the Wall. Put him on the show, man.
Oh,
you can call him right now.
Well, that's what
talk about wrestling.
Tommy is like if we go out to the bar or something, Tommy gets like an Angry Orchard, so he'll get apple juice at the bar. And literally, our waitress one night literally wrote, she's like, "Oh, that's what you're getting? I don't even drink that." and it was one of the
Poor
best
Tommy.
nights. Tommy
It
just
was the
gets
funniest
roasted.
night
It was great.
of my life.
But yeah, so I would say with the help of Justin and Tommy, I've really got back into wrestling and it's full swing.
I got brought back into it by like independent wrestling because
That's
I saw like the shit that was going down in Japan.
Yeah, because
like,
you're a big New Japan.
I love New Japan, yeah, and like I'm stoked for All Elite Wrestling. And we were talking about it. Like my favorite wrestler is like Kenny Omega. He's my favorite wrestler. Like the stuff he did with like Kota Ibushi and like the 4 matches he had with Okada for the IWGP Heavyweight Championship.
Well, that's
like,
I
some of my favorite shit.
never really got into New Japan.
We gotta watch some New Japan. After
We should
this,
watch
man.
some New Japan.
Yeah, well, I'll let you know.
I was super excited for Chris Jericho and Kenny Omega though, because Jericho is one of my all-time favorites.
Yeah, no, for sure. They always put on a great match.
Oh, yeah.
They fought a couple times in New Japan too. So.
Really?
Yeah.
So did you ever go to like any live events or anything
Yeah.
as a kid?
I saw Raw live twice.
In Indy?
Yeah, my buddy's dad, like my best friend growing up, he worked for Conseco, and this was back when Banker's Life was Conseco Fieldhouse.
Yeah.
And so since he worked for Conseco, we got like box seats
both
times. And so we were like real close to the ring, centered, you know, in like one of the suites. Like people brought us like snacks.
I was front row.
And both times, his dad and my dad like tricked us. They were like, we were like, are we going to Raw tonight? And they're like, nah, but you know what, guys, we can like go down there and just like check it out. Like since I work, you know, we can just like take a look, but then we got to probably split. And we got like all the way up to the booth, and they were like, wow, I wish we could stay. And they were like, you guys are fucking dumb. And they did that twice, both times, and it worked both times.
The fact that they got you the second time, like not falling for this baby back bullshit again.
Yeah, I know. Well, you know, we were young, you know.
Yeah.
But it was sick both times. I felt the full force. I saw John Cena do an attitude adjustment, or formerly known as the FU.
The FU is definitely better.
On Randy Orton, and like shook the arena, and like and internally I was just like, hustle, loyalty, respect, y'all.
Yeah. See, that's what I went to. Let's see, 1, 2, 3. I think I went to 6 events total in my career.
I tried to get tickets to All Out in Chicago in August.
Yeah, my roommate Joel is going. I'm super jealous.
I was. It's an 11,000 seat venue, and I was 21,000th in line, and I got there before it started.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be nutty.
What. So I sat front row 4 of the times out of the 6. 2 were for just house shows, and 2 were for Raw. But for the house show that was front row, I have some great stories from that, and this is what I've been waiting to tell you about all day.
Oh, please.
So I have 3 great stories from that. I'll go from worst to best. So starting being front row, obviously when you're a kid, you hate every heel because that's just the nature of being a kid and watching professional wrestling.
Randy Orton's the worst, dude.
Yeah. And so Edge is coming up.
Oh, Edge, that was the bad guy of my childhood, dude.
And so
him and Jeff
he's
Hardy.
walking up, and like I'm booing him or whatever. And he like, this is when I was just, you know, a young lad having braces. And he's like, nice braces, kid. I know. So
that's
shout out Edge.
Great heel. Shouts out Edge, Adam Copeland on Twitter.
The fact that he could roast a little kid like that,
dude,
it makes me my hero.
One of the greatest of all time, dude.
Secondly, there was also a match, Umaga, RIP, and
R.I.P.
CM
Umaga,
Punk. And Umaga picked up CM Punk and tossed him over the railing into me and my dad and spilt the beer all over the place.
That's tight.
So technically,
you got to touch, like...
Yeah, he like got tossed on me.
Punk?
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
That's tight.
And Joel's here. Back from a long day of practice. 15 hours? We're talking about wrestling if it makes it...
What kind of wrestling are you talking about?
I was just telling some stories about my childhood and talking about CM Punk a little.
Big CM Punk guy.
Oh, yeah.
CM Punk guy.
Big CM Punk guy.
We're all big CM Punk guys here.
Joel's in the background, but to carry on. So yeah, that was just cool being like, yeah. And then to end it, this is when Chris Jericho and Rey Mysterio had a feud together.
Over the Intercontinental Championship, yeah.
Yeah, I believe
Great
so.
stuff, good stuff.
And so I'm front row, and this is when he kept trying to demask him on and he rips off his mask right in front of me.
Did you see, man? You saw the face of God?
Here's the thing. This is going to make your entire childhood. So I take off my Rey Mysterio mask that I have on because I got one when I went to California, and I toss it to him. And he puts it on and finishes the match with my mask on.
No way. I don't believe you.
I swear.
No way.
Yeah.
Was this a house show?
Yeah, it was a house show. So it like wasn't.
I was gonna say, like, show me the proof.
Yeah, it definitely wasn't televised. And I have pictures somewhere back home, and I still have the mask which I believe is somewhere in this house.
He gave it back to you?
Yeah, he came back and put it back on.
Wow.
Yeah, it was nuts.
I don't know, man. Are you fucking with me right now?
No, I swear on my life. That will like make everyone's childhood.
That's crazy, man. Wow.
Yeah. It was definitely a very cool moment. Also, this was on a Raw, and you can see it happen. I'll pull up the episode we'll watch later because we're front row for Raw, and Mark Henry is walking up, and my dad starts yelling at him and says, "What's up, precious?" And Mark Henry starts yipping back at my dad, and they get in each other's face and start talking shit.
That's awesome.
And I was like, Dad, stop.
That's the world's strongest man.
Yeah,
Come on.
Exactly.
He's going to give you the world's strongest slam. You can't do that.
I know.
I've been to one WWE event ever, and it was
SmackDown just recently.
The SmackDown. It was either the one right before WrestleMania or 2 before WrestleMania.
I think it was 2 before.
Yeah, but it was like
Kofi earned his.
Kofi Kingston did.
You were there for that?
Yeah, he did the
gauntlet?
The gauntlet match where he got in.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was wild.
Man,
it was
I
a
gotta
good
go.
time.
Like, I want to go to another show. I don't know if I want to go to like a WWE taping, but like, I'm gonna try to go to like an All Elite thing.
Yeah, we should definitely all go see some wrestling sometime.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, damn, I'm so glad we could have wrestling talk.
Me too.
All right, we have one final segment. We did fuck, marry, kill with albums on the last episode.
Shit, okay.
But I felt very weird saying that I wanted to fuck or marry an album.
Okay, yeah, I get
so
that.
we're gonna go with Only One Can Survive.
Only one can survive.
One album, one survivor.
One album, and all the rest of music is dead. Is what you're
well,
saying.
out of these,
so
we're gonna give you
3.
Okay.
So we will give you 3 albums, and only one of them can stay afloat.
That's
the
tough.
other ones.
Y'all making me think.
The other ones never will have existed.
Shit.
Yeah.
So I'm like erasing history.
Mm-hmm. Justin, would you like to read them?
I
Drum
would
roll, please.
Love to read them. Okay.
Number
Maxwell
1.
Trainor.
Album number 1.
First one is Sports by Modern Baseball.
Okay.
Album number 2.
The Blue Album by Weezer.
Oh shit, y'all. Oh man, I didn't even talk about Weezer. Shouts out Weezer, pre 1996.
Album
number 3.
Plans by Death Cab for Cutie.
Who did you guys ask about this? I didn't even talk about Death Cab for Cutie.
No, that's what I did some research.
You did some research?
Yeah.
Did you stalk my Instagram from years
exactly
ago? From years ago?
Mm-hmm.
Because I know exactly what post you're talking about.
There were several posts.
Wow, I love Death Cab for Cutie. Shouts out Death Cab for Cutie. God. Oh, man.
For me, it's pretty easy.
Me as well.
All of those records were foundational to me in like different periods of my life and in different ways. That's a hard one. Damn, y'all did your research. Respect.
Thank you. I'd like to think we for how quickly we put this podcast together, we do a pretty damn good job.
Yeah, shouts out Gear Over Beer for real.
Yeah,
can we shouts out?
You're giving us way too much credit.
Yeah, shouts out.
Fair enough.
Bomb podcast. Okay, I think.
Which one are you getting rid of first?
I hate to do it, but probably Plans.
Okay.
That
would be the first one I would get rid of as well.
But the other two.
That's not even my favorite album by them. What's the?
Transatlanticism.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's one of my Plans and Transatlanticism go back and forth for me. Their very first record, not their very first record. It's like I don't remember what it's called, but it's really good too. Oh crap! I don't know, man. This is so hard. Sports has got to be the survivor. It's got to be. Like, it's just like I can't.
That was my choice.
Like, without sports, there is no me. You know, and like the Blue Album's good, but like the Blue Album is like really good, and like, but like, I mean, like sports is bangers back to back. I
was gonna say, I think sports has my favorite Mobo song.
There's a lot of really good songs, like the deep cuts.
Tears Over Beer.
Oh well, that makes sense, but.
Kind of inspired the name of this.
A little bit, yeah. You think so?
Gear Over Beer.
Just a tiny bit, yeah.
We didn't rip off Modern
No,
Baseball.
I didn't know that at all. So, but like honestly, even like the deep cuts off that record,
such as
really, like.
I feel like See Ya Sucker doesn't get enough love.
See Ya Sucker, yeah, I love See Ya Sucker. Mm-hmm. That's an amazing song. I reckon you grew up in a town that says "reckon" all the time. Yeah, that's hard as hell. But
Justin, is your favorite still At Chloe?
Yeah.
I think Chloe K.
Yeah, I think that's my favorite.
That's a good one. It's like CHLO3K or whatever.
Yeah. Have you ever seen that meme where it's like the car like drifting onto the exit, and it's like staying at home or then talking to
Chloe on Twitter? Yeah, it's good shit. But yeah, it's got to be sports. It does.
Is that your favorite record by them?
No, I probably. Okay, so depending on the day, either Jake's Side of Holy Ghost or all of You're Gonna Miss It All.
Dude.
Jake's side of Holy Ghost
is
Brennan's is great too. But I've always felt a certain
side,
kinship with Jake. Like I've always liked Jake's songs more. I love Slaughter Beach Dog. I fucking love Slaughter Beach Dog.
What do you think of the new songs?
I like them a lot. I think he toned it down just enough.
Well, that's what they all four wrote that record.
Yeah,
so just
which is awesome.
Time.
Yeah,
and I've heard a couple of the songs on that record because they were writing them when we were in the studio.
Oh shit! Really?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So, and then also, he's been playing a lot of them live.
Yeah.
He played a bunch of songs because I saw him both on the last 2 tours. And he's playing new songs.
That's sick, man. But I loved Welcome was like the soundtrack of my summer after I graduated high school.
Dude, that album start to finish.
It's amazing. It's amazing. That's like one of my favorite records of all time. I would say
that album got me through
the end of high school, got me into college.
I would say that album helped me get through like that. Like, you know how like every year you have an album?
Yeah.
I would say my senior year of high school, it was Blink self-titled, just because like going back to that, like I just found myself so much more.
For sure.
And then, oh man, freshman year of college was probably I Like It When You Sleep, You're So Beautiful Yet So Unaware of It.
Yeah. Okay.
Actually, I lied. Junior year of high school was Blink, self-titled. Senior year was Peripheral Vision by Turnover.
Yeah.
That album is flawless.
Peripheral Vision is also tight, yeah. But like Slaughter Beach Dog in particular, like
Justin does not like Turnover.
I mean, like that's valid. Justin's entitled to his opinion, even if it's wrong. So.
Exactly. That's fair, I guess.
But yeah, no. It's got to be sports. It has to be. Yeah. It just has to be. Yeah.
Awesome.
So,
well, I think this is a great podcast.
I think that wraps it up. Yeah.
Max, would you have anything you'd like to plug? Where can people find your music and your social media?
If you want to listen to Tell the Wall,
you should.
I'm on everything and anywhere you can listen to music. My EP, The Hermit, is out there. I'm on Bandcamp. It's just
what's your Bandcamp?
tellthewall.bandcamp.com.
Okay.
There's also Tell the Wall on Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon Music, boys. Google, Deezer, whatever. You know, is that a real Deezer? Is that what it's called?
Yeah,
I don't know what it is, but
Deezer's one of them.
Yeah, but anyway, you can follow me on Instagram at Wall610 or follow me on Twitter at Max_Trainor or look up Tell the Wall or Max Trainor on Facebook. Yeah, and like I said, show on the 27th of June.
Tomorrow.
For people
who are listening right now.
It's gonna be tomorrow. A bunch of sick bands, like I said, Vermont, Jail Socks, Dana Scully, Honey Be Well himself. And then little old me, and so
grand old you.
Thank you guys for having me on.
No,
appreciate it.
So glad you came on.
Yeah, life goal accomplished. Always wanted to be on a podcast.
Well, here we are. Well, we can mark that one off.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for coming on, Max.
Hey, no worries, guys.
Hey, thanks for watching Gear Over Beer. Make sure to like this video and subscribe. If you'd like to support this show, make sure to subscribe to our Patreon for additional content like the video version of this podcast.